Welcome to this week's partner training here at Credit Suite, where we're putting the best information, giving you all the details on how we focus and how we drive into all the details and decode all the myths and everything that's out there in today's business world. Hiram here hosting this week's partner training, and really look forward here to dive into the details and it all here this week. So during today's webinar, we'll discover how to get back to basics in selling business credit and loans. So we're seeing that some of our business owners and partners are asking us, hey, it's I have a lot of material that I'm used and I'm using it this way, that way, but it's kind of becoming a little bit stale, and it just need the most latest information on how to assist my clients. I want to be able to convert that prospect that I got. I met him at a joint venture live event, and they're interested in business credit, and I want to be able to help and bring them on board, and of course create revenue for yourself. So this week we'll be covering things and topics like techniques, teaching, educating, empowering, and becoming an authority figure. Being knowledgeable in the product, how to sound credible by using field-tested, success-proven PowerPoint presentations, as well as how to get back to basics and educating yourself in business credit. We're also going to dive a little bit into the three vital steps to closing the sale. How to help your clients set up their business credit profile, the importance of credibility, and how to make your client's business more fundable, and of course using the tools like NAV to close the deal. All right, so one of the let's just dive in. One of the details that we've been focusing here at Credit Suite is a customer base. It's all about focusing on the client. What are their needs? What are they looking for when they come over to you? Are they looking for funding now, and not worry about building their business credit profile? Are you running into situations where you may be limited with resources, limited with how to pitch the product, limited with a lot of different things that will make you sound credible, an authority figure? So what I do want to let you know here is that we'll be, dealing with that today, because it's very important that when you connect with your clients, that your clients know what's happening, that your clients have an expectation, that you're setting the expectations correct so that they know what they're getting into. All right. So one of the things that I do want to cover here with you today is the focus point. All right, because the focus point is one of those things that we're really honing down on this. All right, it's all about the application process. Okay, a lot of clients come to us and say, well, there's a concern because a lot of these folks that come to me are not qualified to obtain any type of funding, are not qualified to with the three C's. And you guys have heard us say this occasionally, but the three C's are cash flow, credit, or collateral. One of the three C's, there's a loan product with their name on it, and that's for sure. But the thing is, if your clients don't have one of the three C's, then are they really truly in business? If they're a startup, then we get it. But if they've been in business over 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5, 10, 20 years, and they don't have cash flow, credit, or collateral, then there's something wrong with the business. Okay, and that's something that you a lot of times have to, kind of hit your clients with a little bit of taste of reality. They have to be able to understand that if you don't have perfect credit, let's talk about personal credit. If you don't have perfect credit, that's okay. There's a lending program for you. If you have subprime credit, that's okay. There may be a lender for you as well. But keep in mind one thing, you're not going to pay 0% interest. You're not going to pay the low 1.9% for 5 years, 10 years, or whatever best terms that you can get out there. You're going to pay out the nose for different types of lending programs that are not, they're out there, but they're not really solid. They're going to bring your business down because you're finding yourself with too much expense and payables opposed to receivables, right? It's all about having more receivables than payable, and that is a successful business. So one of the things that we've been honing on is the application process, and it's so important and crucial so that your clients can understand that credibility is one of the biggest factors that are out there. Banks do not want to talk to business that are acting like their hobbies. All right. If you are acting like you're running a hobby and not a business, there's no bank in the world that wants to provide you nothing. It even comes down to the point of even some vendors. If they will ask you on the application, what are you making? If you're making 500 bucks, $1,000 a month, it's not what they want. They want you to make money so that you can buy more and continue to grow with them. So one of the things in the application process that we talk about a lot or been talking about lately is the process of application. Okay, the application is so important when it comes down to the submission of an application to a lender. Okay, having an application in place where you're able to go in and have a business name, you have a business address, you have a business phone number, you have a business 411 listing. You've been in business now for 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. That's important. Business bank account, business entity, EIN. That is so important for you to be able to have in order and in place in order for this to really happen for you. Your business EIN, your website, your email, your business licensing. If you don't have a business license in your state and your state requires it in order for you to conduct business, to do business, and you don't have that, unfortunately, you will not be able to obtain the funding that you need. So don't even apply. So one of the big focus that we have right now is letting business owners know you need to fix your credibility. Credibility is so crucial to ensure that you get all the funding that you need. If you have a business name and you're in a high risk industry, well, guess what? You can't say logistics. If you're in trucking, you can't say logistics, transportation services, gopher services. It just tells the banks you're in a high risk industry. And a lot of those loans go default because of the industry that you're in. But by creating a business name that is set up credibly and by creating taking the proper steps and measures and taking your time with it, that will ensure that you have the most best success in this whole process. Okay. And then of course we move around to this side of things here. When it comes down to personal credit history, if your credit is not where it needs to go and you need immediate funding now before you even build your business credit profile, then you need to work on your personal credit. Build your business credit, build your personal credit at the same time. Remove any discrepancies, remove anything that is not correct. Data agencies are gathering all this information all the time, and bureaus are actually verifying this information or showing this data on your personal credit report. So it's very important that they focus, and most importantly, on the things that make sense. Okay, financial statements, when we speak about cash flow. A lot of times you can get loans without any docs. A lot of times you can get loans without presenting any financial statements and P&Ls or any of that kind of stuff. But when you start getting into the process of SBAs, when they start graduating from business revenue loans or merchant cash advances and they want to get into SBAs, they will want to see some personal financials as well as business financials. They don't want to lend to business owners that are not generating revenue either through a W-2 or either through a 1099 or an entity that's not producing money. Okay, business information is another thing that goes hand in hand with the business name and all the credibility standards. As you go around here, you see that your business information has to be on point, has to be right, has to show correctly. Your business credit history has to show correctly without any default, any type of discrepancies or late pays. Your identification numbers, or EIN and other types of different SIC codes and so on, have to be in order. Data agencies are constantly connecting this information to bureaus, constantly connecting this information with the companies like LexisNexis and so on, FICO, FBSS, and all these data gathering companies so that they can now produce a real solid scope of your business. If your business does not have a solid scope, banks don't want to do business with you. And that's what it really comes down to. We've been really on an education path, warpath to educate our business owners when they're trying to build business credit. It's not about getting in the program and what is my instant gratification. You have to really think about it. If you've been in business for a very short time, do you really think that the approval of $100,000 is there available for you? The answer is no, unless you're willing to back it up with a 680 or above, and you can get yourself something like a UBF or UCL program, funding program. But a lot of times it's all about having the business name, having a business address, phone number, 411 listing, time in business, business bank accounts. This is all crucial. And explaining this to your clients is what's really going to set you apart from what's happening out there. Guess what? Dun& Bradstreet also has a credit builder program, so they say. It's all only to build business credit through your DUNS number. But you don't pay them the next year, then all that information and data gets gone, right? But it's all about having the information update naturally, organically through the right sources, not only for Dun& Bradstreet, but also Experian and Equifax. This is super important for you to be able to take the time, educate them, and let them know, give them the aha moment, right? Give them the wow factor. There's a lot of things that you guys can't see here on the monitor, but business name, there's several things here that really show what needs to get done in business address, in business phone number. There's so many little steps that we're taking care of for you, educating, teaching your clients so that they know that they're in the know at all times and know why this is happening, why this is going down, why am I taking my time 1, 2, 3 weeks sometimes on credibility. But the reason why is because we've seen it done so many times. You have a business owner that goes into the program, skips step number one, and goes straight to step number 3 and 4. That's not right. It's not proper. It's not going to help you out. It's not going to get you what you need to get to at a faster rate just because you skip steps, right? So it's about setting the expectations and setting everything correctly through the business so that now the banks are looking at you like a real entity, all right, to provide you the terms that you're seeking from them. All right. So one of the other things that I do want to move on here to is we also been diving into the details of what we call um, presentations through PowerPoint presentations. Okay, a lot of this information is available to you in your back office, and all you have to do is pull this information and go through it. But one of the things that we've been focusing on here when we're training our business owners on how to promote this product, how to sound credible, how to sell this product. The most important thing for you guys to do and focus is social media platforms. Okay, if you're not on, YouTube, if you're not on Venmo, if you're not on other types of video recording, or even creating videos and send this information in your own words, which we provide you, of course, a lot of this PowerPoint presentation that it's all ready for you in a white label format. So they're not seeing Credit Suite here. They're not seeing Credit Suite, Ty Crandall's book, Business Credit Decoded. They're seeing your information and nothing else. But if you're not out there really putting out this material, making sense to clients, why would they want to do business with you? So one of the things that I've been educating a lot of people is, hey, listen, sign up with a company like GoToMeeting, or sign up with a company like Webinar Jams, or get a webinar hosting program that will be able to help you out in promoting your business. There's a company also that's called OBS Studio that a lot of folks have been saying, listen, I'm going through YouTube, I'm finding that some of my content is being removed or whatever the case is. Well, OBS is an open broadcaster software where you can download it either for Windows, Mac OS, or either a Linux. And what it allows you to do is a free software that allows you to enter all this information and have those video recordings so you can start producing really professional looking YouTube live, streaming. And the streaming is what is really going to get your information to the top and really moving this product at a much higher magnitude, and really getting clients to convert from traffic into a prospect, and now this is a real client. Okay, they're a paying client. They've already paid you. So don't hesitate on creating videos, because this is really what's going to help you identify where your weakness is at, and then it's also going to help you gain more structure, gain more tread with other business owners that want to do business with you based on the fact that you have a lot of content, a lot of material, and you're giving them a lot of information. There's steps to it all, right? There's steps to where you created this business, you have a drive, you have a vision, you want to make revenue, you want to make sure, you want to have a great life, making solid money, selling business credit and also generating leads for funding. But you got to take proper steps in order for you to make that happen. Okay, so we can't sit back and just download all the videos that we have in our back office and just wait till somebody calls you. There has to be a little more extra push. Either you do it the old school way, which we have a lot of partners. They'll print out 2 or 3 or 500 of these pamphlets and trifolds and all types of marketing material, and have a few college students just go and distribute this stuff through different malls and plazas and different business locations. Uh, but that's the old school way. But at the end of the day, they have results, because guess what? Out of 300 that you distributed, maybe 1% is interested in a program like yours. Maybe they need funding now. Maybe they went to the local bank. Maybe they don't have that local bank just said, well, we want the best of the best, and you're not the best right now. We can't offer you anything. Well, that's the big problem, right? Because now where does that client go? These banks are just going to keep it in their file and then never do anything with it, because they've already been stamped with decline. So why would they want to follow up with the client in next, 30 to 60 days? Why would they want to follow up with them in 6 months, in a year? No need, right? From a big bank, mindset, this is where you can now scoot yourself in and say, hi, I do business credit building. I help with funding. I help with this. What kind of lending do you need? You don't need 100 grand. I have a program for that. Perfect. Let me get you sent over to my underwriting team. Do you need business credit building? Perfect. I have the solution for you. This is what this is. Let's talk about credibility. Let's talk about everything that is required. And this is how I'm going to help you. Here are the features and the benefits. This is where you find yourself. Can you imagine yourself being in this opportunity when things are really happening for you? So you have a restaurant. Would you like to open 5 more? Would you like to franchise? Okay, you have a trucking business. Would you like to have 10 more trucks on your fleet? Do you need fleet cars to take care of overhauls and take care of fuel expenses and all this good stuff? These are the things that you want to promote when you're speaking about business credit building. Not so much this is what this will do for you, or not so much this is what I can offer you, but do you see yourself in these shoes? One of the biggest strategies that we see in the auto industry when you're purchasing a car, depends on where you go to, right? But if you have an aggressive dealership that you go to, a lot of times they say, do you see this brand new Escalade in your driveway? What they're doing is they're planting a picture. They're planting a seed with a picture, and that's the outcome, right? The outcome is for you to say, yes, I do. I see myself driving this. I see myself commuting. I do love the sound system. I do like the mag wheels. I do like the grill. I do like all this. And they're just planting the seeds. So in other words, you need to be able to take that same strategy, because it's all psychological stuff that has been proven that it really truly works. When you plant the seed and you paint the picture, now people start buying into what you say, not so much because they like you, not so much because their product is great, but you planting the seeds in what the strategy here is, right? It's all about making sure that you plant the seed and that they know what the outcome is going to be with a picture. Some people are kinetic learners, some people are visual learners, some people are, have to hands-on, and we all have different types of learning strategies. But at the end of the day, painting the picture and letting them know where they can be is what's going to be much fruitful for you and your business. Okay. The other thing I do want to share here with you is that one of the strategies that we've been using lately at Credit Suite, that we've been seeing a tremendous spike in sales, is the opportunity to have your clients go on nav.com. Okay. And what I love about nav is that basically now you're hitting a pain point. You're letting them know, okay, so you're a startup, you have no credit, that may not work for them, right? But if you've been in business for 3 months, you've been in business for a year, you've been in business for 5, 10, 20 years, the solution here, and this is a really neat closing strategy, that we're closing at approximately 83% of those clients that sign up through nav. And what we do here is this: we send clients to go through nav, and you can go to nav and get started here by entering your information, and they usually give you about a 30-day free trial. Okay, all they have to do is just put their business name here, put their zip code here, and then they'll hit search. Once they hit search, it'll show their company on there. But what it does is that now it starts to show them why they need business credit building. They say to you, okay, well, I have 20 trade lines reporting on my account. I have 10 trade lines. Oh, I don't need that. Or I've done that, been there, done that. I know it all, right? And that works perfectly for that type of client that is a know-it-all type of client. Their personality is I've been there, done that. I've been with the best of the best. Well, a lot of times what they don't know is that there's a company called NAV that they can pull their business credit report. Another thing that they don't know is that a lot of the cards or terms or lines of credit or term loans or any type of loans that they're obtaining, is not reporting to their business credit. Okay, and the most surprising part of this of this whole thing is that if it's not reporting to their business credit, then they don't have business credit. It's that simple. If you know, the difference here with personal credit, right? There's Fair Credit Reporting Act, and a lot of these banks and lending institutions, and also the credit reporting agencies, you know, by law they have to report certain types of data to your personal credit. When it comes down to business credit, there's no such thing. Nobody governs them. Nobody governs the banks. Nobody governs, well, maybe the banks in their process, but not so much on what they need to do. If you apply for a loan and you're able to get the loan, it's not their duty to report this data back to Dun and Bradstreet, Experian, and Equifax. It's not. Okay, so what we found based on research is that 7% of lenders and lending institutions report any type of data back to the credit reporting agencies. Isn't that surprising? You mean to tell me that if I apply for 10 loans and I get approved for all 10. Well, let's not talk about 10 loans, but a mix, right? So you get yourself some revolving accounts, you got the Stacker program you went through, you got yourself 2-term loans that are line of credit, you got yourself a, you know, Amex Discover, you know, the business card and all that good stuff, and they have 10 accounts reporting. That means that not even one of those accounts, or maybe just possibly one of those accounts can report that information. Okay, now if they're doing co-reporting, so that's something that you also have to look into. If they're co-reporting where they report to your personal and your business, 8 out of 10 times they're not going to report to the business, they're going to report it only to your personal credit. So what's the point of building business credit if these creditors are not reporting this information? So I'm going on a tangent here. I want to get back to NAF. The goal here is this. You them to NAV, say, listen, I want to do something here for you, and I'm just going to give you a free credit monitoring for 30 days. Sign up to this website, and what I want to do here with you is this. I want you to pull your business credit report. I want you to screenshot all the data and the information that's going to come up on the screen. And then what I want to do with you is I want to set up a one-on-one consultation to go over your business credit so that we can go into the details of what you have reporting and what's not, and how I can be of assistance. And what we find is that when we get them to the second appointment, now they're interested. You're seeing that they're, the second time around, you have a higher closing ratio based on the fact that they're interested. You said something that is striking a pain point in their mind, in their subconscious, and now they want to do business with you, right? That now you're in a pedestal, you're an authority figure. So by doing this, you have the second appointment locked in. You're in your consultation, you go log into their account if they give you access, or possibly just give you screenshots to go over this material. What you're finding is that 8 out of 10 business owners have a failing score. And the reason why is because there's not enough trade lines reporting. There's not enough payment history reporting. There's a lot high risk based on the fact that they're maybe a new business or been in business for a long time, but their credibility is not where it needs to be, okay? So what you're going to use is that, okay, so here we have business credit. You have one account, and most of you can read, you know, personal credit. So it's very similar with NAV. It's very easy to read, very easy on the eyes, very easy to explain. So it makes it very easy for you to be able to, you know, talk about this and they'll understand. But you want to go to the certain points that show failing score. Anything under 78, it's a failing score. Anything that, you know, if they don't have, you know, 15, 20 trade lines on their business credit, then they're not doing things correctly. If they're showing discrepancies on there, which you can see based on the fact that you have your name here, what is the name of the business? Oh, you got a DBA, you have this. There's so many things that you can use for your benefit to be able to show them that you're an authority figure and you know what you're doing. You're stepping up your game by not only educating them, but you're also taking them, holding them by hand and showing this is what's happening. This is the thing that you think that you're doing well. And a lot of times clients need to listen to you and say, yeah, you know what, you're right, I thought so. I thought this was happening. I thought this was happening for me and this was in my favor. And that's where you go in and say, listen, well, I have a program that's perfect for you. I'm going to help you. I'm going to scale your business credit to the next level. And this is what we're going to do for you. Can you see yourself as a real estate investor with Home Depot, Lowe's, Sherwin-Williams? Can you see yourself with some revolving lines of credit? Can you see yourself with this, and that? Can you see yourself with a second location? Can you see yourself with the other practice? And that's what we do to promote this product. And guess what? Now they're giving you your credit card. Pretty much at that point, you're asking, what card do you want to put it on? Because I'm going to be able to help you and take you to the next level. Okay, so I did want to touch base with you here on Nav. Nav is a good source that is going to be able to help you out tremendously, that you're going to be very content, and it's going to really start streaming some really solid revenue here for you when in other different areas. So here's the other thing that I do want to talk to you very briefly on here as well. What we find is that when you're doing a lot of your PowerPoint presentation, a lot of this material that is here, or you're doing live events either through OBS or either a company like GoToMeeting by LogMeIn, you want to make sure that a lot of your information is clear and concise. If you're doing YouTube presentations, you want to make sure you have a subscriber page in place, but you want to make sure that your Credit Suite logo or your logo, not Credit Suite, but your logo is down here with maybe some maybe Calendly. Calendly is a really good calendar to use so that clients can book appointments based on where they're located. So one of the things, it's a free service, okay? For most of you that don't have 20,000, 50,000 clients on your database, is a very easy, very free product to use, and you can now merge them and put them in your PowerPoint presentation. Something to the effect of book a one-on-one with me, and they can easily see your calendar so that they can book a one-on-one consultation. But you want to speak a little bit on who you are, what you do. Are you in credit repair? Are you in tax services? Are you in real estate? Are you in helping truckers through a freight brokering? And you want to be able to relay this information on business credit. What is business credit? Right? You want to enter this information into your PowerPoint presentation and start diving into the details of this. If you're in a certain industry, if you service a certain amount of avatar or a certain demographic and you're going after them, you want to be able to really say this in layman terms. You don't want to get too intricate or too flashy with words. So you want to keep it as simple as possible when you're trying to promote YouTube Live, Vimeo videos, webinar for broadcasting, or even open broadcasting software like I told you about, which is OBS, and be able to put this material in there so that it makes sense. All right, so it's very simple. Business credit. What is business credit? This is credit linked to your EIN, not your Social Security. Mr. Customer, do you see how this can benefit you, right? That's the first pain point. You can build a credit profile for a business completely separate from the business owner's personal credit profile, doubling borrowing ability. Okay, do you see where this can help you? This is credit limits and capacity on these accounts are much higher than consumer with consumer credit. Do you guys know that approvals come 50 to 70 times higher for business credit than personal credit? Did you guys know that? Okay, and the reason why is because the terminology that we use here often is businesses are a beast. That's hands down. You cannot consume, paper, blocks of paper in your house by doing homework with your kids the way that you would consume blocks of paper at your job or your company. So therefore, banks are willing to provide you higher limits based on the fact that you're going to be using more materials, more raw materials, more fuel, more car expenses, more phone lines, more electricity than your household. So the thing here is that with business credit, if you're able to get higher limits with business credit, why would you even want to use your personal credit to tie yourself into the business financials? Okay, if you know that you can go to Capital One right now and get yourself a Capital One card for 20 to 30, 50 grand, right? Right now, you got great credit, you can get that. Or maybe not so good, but maybe you can get yourself a $5,000 limit. But you can go through business credit and get 50 to 70 times higher. Why would you even want to put that on your name? Why would you even want to utilize that in your name? It's all about utilizing this information and giving and delivering this information to your clients. A lot of times they may ask, hey, listen, how fast can I build business credit? Well, you can build business credit as soon as 30 days. And that's the truth. If you go through the credibility and you fly through everything, you can build business credit in the next 30 days. as long as 90 days. Worst case scenario, if they're not following the process, the steps, and they're kind of lollygagging on some of the action calls that we give them. But the opportunity here is this: you have a lot of material that you can put out. There's a lot of material that in content that's constantly being delivered here to your clients that we're constantly putting out there. Business credit benefits. What are the business credit benefits? The benefits of if you're in government contracts, guess what? Government will pull your Dun& Bradstreet, Experian, Equifax to see who you're paying. Even clients that want to do business with you nowadays, they can go and pull your business credit report, and they don't need your permission because you don't. It's not personal. It's business. Okay, things like business credit benefits, like you don't need collateral or financials to start building business credit. Okay, step one, what is fundability? Build for fundability. It's all about building that credit profile like we spoke about here, where you have access to all this information that is available to your clients right now. What industry are you in? Mr. Customer, do you know that by your business name you can get declined? Mr. Customer, did you know that your business address using the UPS store PO box can get you declined so quick, and those banks will take approximately 12 to 18 months to turn their decision from a decline into an approval? Again, you're a hobby right now if you do that. Okay, business phone number. Are you using a cell phone, Mr. Customer? That doesn't work. There's no hope for you in that. Go get yourself a Grasshopper and download the app. Now that 800 number is going to be downloaded or listed with Business Directory. Okay, how long have you been in business? And how do you have a business bank account? You can go right to our portal, and we just added a bunch of banks that are available to business that can't even get personal bank accounts because they're in through the check system. We just vetted this information out because what we're finding is a lot of business owners can't even open up a business account because they have a lot of NSFs and they got their business account closed down on them. But if you go to our portal and you say, Mr. Customer, I can get you some accounts right now with a bank that a checking account that I can get you on board, and they're not going to run your e-check system background. Isn't that a selling point right there? Isn't that something that you've just given them that they haven't been able to accomplish, but you've given them that right to be able to do business with you, right? You've given them the invitation to do business with you because they've been seeking all kinds of places. They've already gone through 3 applications for to open a checking account, and they can't even get a checking account due to the simple fact that they're in the check systems. Okay, so it's all about having all the information and data necessary to be able to help these clients and take them to the next level. Okay, corporate entities. Mr. Customer, if you're a sole proprietor, you cannot build business credit. If you're in a high-risk industry, if you're in a restricted industry, let's talk about that first. If you're a guns manufacturer, if you're a casino, if you're in funding and banking, you loan money. I'm not talking about brokers. I'm talking about you lend money. You're a restricted industry. Therefore, don't even bother. But if you're in a high-risk industry or in any type of industry, you can build corporate credit. But you're not going to be able to build this through a sole proprietor. First of all, you put your social security number on the line stating that you're taking full ownership of this company and it's you. So they need to understand that there should be a legal entity in place, either a disregarded entity, which is referred to as an LLC, or a corporation. Right, S corp, C corp, or whatever the case is. But what that does is that these entities, it eliminates personal liability, right? By not having these type of entities, then you're kind of setting yourself up for failure because you've already told the banks that now you want to do business as, Jack Russell. You want to do business as, Matthew Cummings. You know what I mean? So it's very hard for you to be able to change the dynamics of or bank's mind and looking at you to build business credit. And they're saying, well, no, it's you put your name on social, we're going to need for you to personally guarantee it. Okay, EIN, how crucial and important that is to have. It's free. Go to irs.gov/EIN, right? Business address. We run so many times where people get their business address and it's locked into a PO box, and just because the United States Postal Service says, yeah, no, it's not a real PO box, we'll just kind of disguise it and put suite or something else. Same thing with UPS store. As soon as you have that address, just because it doesn't say UPS on the address, but when the bank Googles that information, guess what's going to come up? A PO box, a UPS store, right? So having a brick and mortar location is obviously the primary best way to obtain funding because of your credibility. And then worst case scenario is going to be a virtual address, a company like Regis, a company like Da Vinci, to name a few, which are now reasonably priced and have better capabilities of getting you funding than using a PO box or UPS or even your home address. Okay, phone numbers. Back to Grasshopper or even Vonage, they will offer you a business phone line. Okay, you don't have to go out there and get yourself a landline through, that costs you 100 or 200 bucks a month. They're nice if you're working high volume and you're creating solid revenue. But you know what? In the beginning, most new business owners can't afford 100, $200 a month because they have to be able to move that money into other things that are more important. So having a phone number that comes up in the phone directory or as a business phone directory, that is going to help you out tremendously. Now, VoIPs are okay because, just like I said, Grasshopper and Vonage are two great companies that you can use, that their number reflects correctly in the business directory. But you want to make sure that you don't have that information and data, show up or tell them that you're using a application for phone line. Okay, so you want to make sure that you let these banks know, listen, I'm not using this for those purposes. I'm just using it. I have a real phone line. I don't have an app or anything like that. Website and email. The other thing I want to mention here to you is you want to break down why it's so important to have a website and an email. If the banks can't research you and know what you're doing, who you're servicing, who you're going after, what type of product you are, then you're kind of setting yourself up for failure, right? So having a website in place and an email that says info at your company name, or your name at such company name, or admin or whatever, that's going to help out your chances of them being able to streamline the process of the application. Okay, when a bank is able to streamline the approval process, guess what? You're going to get the best terms at a fast rate, especially when 9 out of 10 banks are using artificial intelligence and there's not a live person that you speak to. Okay, let me tell you something from an underwriter's point of view. When I worked in underwriting for a commercial lender, a lot of times I would get an application and I would view it. And if I had things that were missing, and I had 70 applications that I had to go through, I was paid per production. So I wasn't paid to go and look through all your documents, review all your docs and stipulations, and back and forth email with the client. I was paid to put deals on the board. I was paid to book deals. Okay. So when I was doing underwriting for a big commercial lender, when I received an application that looked to me incomplete, discrepancies, I immediately gave them a decline based on the fact that your information is not in order. Get back to me when you're ready, and then I'll be more than happy to entertain the file at that point in time. But then the problem lies here. Once I gave the decline, the system would put you into a certain cachet, right? That either I would not be able to get back to, or I had to call a higher manager to say, okay, get me that file back so I can work on the file. So a lot of times, out of sight, out of mind is so true when it comes down to underwriting with banks. So the most important thing here to understand is that when you have, and that's what we speak about all the time, credibility, right? If you have your credibility in order and in place, then guess what? You're in the driver's seat for success. Okay, not only is your credibility on point, but the system can automatically grab this information, can automatically streamline it through their formulas and algorithms and get you the approval that you need. Anytime that application came over to me, I was just agreeing with the computer system, because nowadays underwriting is not the same way like it used to be 10 or 15 years ago. Okay, 10 or 15 years ago, underwriting was live human beings were doing underwriting, putting more focus on the team of underwriters that were looking into what you had. Do you have cash flow, collateral? Do you have credit? Who are you paying? In the last 2 years, who have you defaulted on? Your inquiries. If you have 10 inquiries, but you only have 2 accounts reporting, I'm going to question that. I'm going to ask, why in the world do you have 10 inquiries? What happened to this loan? What happened to this inquiry? What happened to this application? What happened here? And it raises a lot of red flags, because one of the biggest things, and if anybody out here that is an underwriter will understand this, if you're an underwriting and you're paid to book deals and that's how you get paid, right? but you don't want to put a bad deal on the books if you know that it's not going to go well. Meaning, we're graded on that as well. I don't want to have my head on the line for putting a bad loan on there because I didn't do my due diligence to run your Dun and Bradstreet, to run your Equifax and Experian, and do a good thorough investigation on who your company is. So what I would always do, if I like the deal and I have everything in order, a lot of times what I was doing is moving on to stage number 2. Okay, so this looks like a good file. Everything's complete. This a business owner is organized, has everything in order. Listen, this is a great file. But I would also do my due diligence to ensure that you have everything in place and your website is there, your email's there. A lot of times I would Google your business address to make sure it's not a home address, UPS or PO box store. A lot of times I'm going to go check out your website to make sure that you fit our lending guidelines, that you are not doing, you're in an industry or a business that we don't do business with. So it is very important that you understand that when you have things like licensing and business listing, website and email, understanding your that phone numbers mean a lot, that business address means a lot, that even having an EIN linked to your business, not linked to you as a sole proper partnership, these are things that as an underwriter we're looking for and that we want to make sure that we have all this in place. I don't want to go out there and digging as an underwriter. I don't want to go out there and digging for information that I don't have time for that. So I kind of want to give you guys a little bit of feedback on how underwriters think so that you understand that it's not all about just having a business name and an EIN. There's more to that than just having that. Okay, so with that being said, you want to make sure that when you're doing your PowerPoint presentations that you're putting out the right material, you're making the right connection with the business owners, and make sure that they understand what business credit reports are. Here we go again. Remember, we were talking a little earlier with NAV. Here we have the information on pulling your business credit report and how does that work and affect you. Okay, so we have a tremendous focus right now on every client that comes through our door or that calls us and wants to is considering on doing business with us. We want to pull their business credit report because one of the neatest things about NAV is that there's no limit, right? It's not you sending them to them. It's just you getting them the resource to say, okay, let's look at your business credit report and let's evaluate it together so that we know where we stand. Okay. So making sure that all these things are very important and crucial to your clients so that you can make the connection and now convert that client to where you need to convert them to, okay? So as far as business credit is concerned, don't hesitate to connect to us. We're always willing to help you out in any way that we can. If you need to reach out to us, call your account manager. Our direct number here is 877-600-2487. Or you can email us at info@creditsuite.com, and we'll be more than happy to assist you in any way that we can. I can be reached at 877-600-2487, or you can reach your account manager, Hiram, at this week's partner training. We thank you so much for the time and opportunity and look forward to seeing you next week. You guys take care and enjoy.